Hi guys, in this tutorial we are going to be working with our photoresistor. So this is how a photoresistor looks like. It is basically a resistor that resists light, so it can see light. So for example, if it's light like this, you can put your finger on top and it should switch on, off, and then when you remove it, it should switch on, or it should react to that light. So we are going to be working on it, and we are going to be seeing what we can achieve with it. Again, what we're going to need is we're going to need our photoresistor. Most of Arduino kits come with the photoresistor. We are going to need an LED light. We are going to need two 330K 330 ohms resistors. We're going to need two of them, but you can use any resistors that you have on your pack. And then we're going to need, obviously, our wires right there, our good pack of wires. So we are going to be using male to male and female to male wires. So let's get on to it. Obviously, breadboard and Arduino Uno. So let's get on to it and see what we can achieve. We first are going to start with what we are familiar with. We're going to start with our light. Let's remember that the short side is GND and the longer side is our positive. So I usually want to put my positive side on my left, towards my left hand side. So I just put a finger like that, and the side which touches my finger first goes to that left hand side like that. And then I take my first resistor, and it must be on a straight line with the right hand side pin. So it must be on a straight line like that with this pin. It should not overlap to this pin. It should not. It must be on a straight line like that. So it means that it is connected. That connection is similar to me connecting to this side of my LED light, to this side of my LED light like that. It is similar to me connecting to it like that. So let's do it. In, and then this one in. Like that. Good. Then what am I going to need next? I'm going to need my wires. The first wire goes to the positive side, the longer side, and then it goes to a number. For a number, I'm going to be using number 2, 0, 1, 2. I connected to number 2. And then I'm going to take the other wires. So I'm going to take another wire, and then I'm going to connect it on a straight line with the resistor, and then it goes to GND. So for this one, I'm going to use that GND. So I just say 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one from the top is GND, right? Great. I know that's crisscross there is a bit problematic. So let's just turn it around like that. Perfect. Then the next one is this. This is a photoresistor. It doesn't have a positive and a negative. It is just a resistor, right? So I just connect it right there. In a similar manner, on one side, I choose one side. I'm going to choose the right because I've used the right on the other side. And then I connect my resistor like that. So this is how I have my resistor connected. It's on a straight line with my most right hand leg of my photoresistor like that. Then the next thing is I want you to keep attention on this next lines because it can be a little bit of confusing, right? Great. So at the center, where on a straight line where I have my right hand side leg of my resistor and my resistor, my right hand side leg of my photoresistor and my resistor, ohm resistor, I'm going to put a wire. And this wire, which is connected to both my resistor and my two resistors, which is connected to both my two resistors, this wire is going to be connected to A0, analog 0. So the one on the center is connected to analog 0. That is what we use analog input to control our that is what we're going to be using to control our resistor. Then I take my another wire and I connect it on a straight line with ohm resistor, this resistor that is bluish, and then this wire goes straight to our GND. And finally, the resistor on the other hand, the light resistor, I connect it to the wire, and this one, I am going to be connecting it straight to my 5 volts. The one that is connected to the light resistor, the diode, the photoresistor. So this one goes straight to 5 volts. The one on the center goes straight to A0, and then the one that is connected to the resistor goes straight to GND. Right? Great. Let's see how we can write our code to try and connect this and compile them and make them work. We have connected our photoresistor, our 2 ohm resistors, and our light. So we are going to be using our photoresistors. So what this project is going to do is, when there is not enough light, our red LED light will switch on. When there is too much light, our LED light will switch off. Imagine you are building street lights. Imagine you are building street lights and you want them to switch themselves on at night. So as long as there is low visibility, as long as a person can see less, you want your lights to switch on. So this is the component which we can use and which we're going to use. Now let's get down to it. Our code, the first thing that we write is int diode. This is our photoresistor equals 0. So because it's connected to A0, our photoresistor, let me just cancel that. Let me just say int photoresistor. Photo means light equals 0. Let's remember that photo. What photo means? The word photo means light. So photoresistor is light resistor. And then int light. Light is our LED light, right? Light equals 2. So light is our LED light and it's connected to number 2. And then we go with int value. This is what we call an empty variable. We are going to be using this variable to store our values for our photoresistors. As our photoresistor get light and lose some light, it has certain numbers. We are going to be storing those numbers. Then we say void set up. This one, what it does is it attaches what we are working with to our Arduino. It simply attaches all these components to our Arduino. But we are going to only attach, we don't usually attach the analog, our analog inputs, so we are only going to attach light. Pin, small letter P, mode, capital letter M, open bracket, light, comma, it is an output. Output is capital letters all the way. Then we close with our semicolon. And then we close our void setup. Then we have void loop, right? Our void loop is our main function. This is the function that runs continuously. It runs and runs and runs and runs. So this is where our main function is. And then we're going to say value. This value, which is our empty variable, equals, right, analog read. So we are reading our analog value, and then we called it photoresistor. That's what we called it. So we are getting a value from photoresistor. So this one, it reads the values which it gets from the resistor, right? You are able to test your resistor and get proper values. You are able to test your resistors. You can test it with a serial, what we call serial monitor, and then you get values, certain values. I will show you how to do that next time. For now, we are not using a serial monitor. We just want to switch our light on and off, right? You can look at other tutorials. There's tutorials where we use serial monitor. For example, when we are working with IR remote, we use a lot of serial monitor there because we need to monitor our values. Okay, let's continue. If this is another loop, if whenever our value, right, is lower than, this means less than or it means lower than. So value is lower because it's on this side, it's lower, and then 350 is higher. It's lower than 350, open bracket. Digital, you are familiar with this. Digital, right, capital letter W, right, light, take light, and then make it high, switch it on, right, and then we close. And then we say else, okay, not like that, else, so it should turn yellowish, this else, open bracket, digital, right, open bracket, light, comma, low, capital letter, everything. So what we are basically doing here, right, is we are saying digital, right, light must be low. When this is higher, when it's higher than 350, our light must be low. When it's less, our light must switch on, right? Let's take our computer and let's connect everything and see what we come up with. Okay, I'm just gonna change small things. Okay, so what we do is we verify our code, right? And then we upload. So because we have uploaded, I'm going to switch off and switch on the light. My computer is still uploading. We are going to switch off our light so that you can actually see what we are talking about. So I'm going to try and reduce the amount of light that our photoresistor is getting. So you see, because it's getting a lot of light, it is the light, this light, our LED light is off, and then I give it some light. Take a look at our LED light. I reduce the light, our LED light is on. Off, on, off, on. So whenever it's dark, our LED light will switch on, and then off, on, so on and so forth. So you can use this actually on your projects to try and do something which reacts to light like this. So on, off, on, off. Thank you guys. See you next time.